Very good evening. Vanessa madam, can we start? Not there.
Sir, today network issue is very severe at my end. Today whole day I suffer a lot.
We are having electricity issues. Network उसके बाद का.
I could not engage one lecture. All 60 minutes I continued struggling with that.
Okay. Vanessa madam, I think she is not there. Yes. There is an issue regarding network and I see. Is she there? She is not there. I think.
So ma'am is there. Ma'am has joined.
Pardon me.
So ma'am has joined the meeting.
Achha. Must be having some network issue, I think so. Can you see her?
Yes, sir. She's very much there.
Achha. Ah, she's there. Hello, madam. Shall we start? Badrunisa madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Before start, let me discuss about the context. If they have written one by one, whoever is interested, can you talk about your context which you have worked it on?
Jayanti madam has sent me the context.
Yes, yes, Jayanti has sent. Even Lolly has sent, I think.
Yes, ma'am. Sujata and Jayanti did it together, and
Madam, we
Yeah.
sent one policy for just to say. I mean, we wanted your opinion whether we are on a proper track. Yeah.
That we will see. I was going through, but I have not come to an conclusion. We'll come out of that for that little later. Anything if you want to discuss on context now? All of you have done the context. As last week you have taken a time that by next class we will be ready.
it skipped my mind, ma'am. I could not complete it. It just skipped.
Skipped, okay.
Yeah, so sorry for that.
Anybody else?
I wrote the policy we started writing, but they just skipped.
Okay. Okay.
We remembered only about policy actually.
Yeah.
Even I couldn't do that.
कभी कभी ऐसे हो जाता है ना, कभी हम कुछ स्टोरी बोलते हैं तो टॉपिक भूल जाते हैं, स्टोरी याद रह जाती है. Many a times it happens with the students. When we take an analogy of a story with a particular topic, they will remember a story, not the topic. Okay, then I think there is no discussion on that is going to happen and everybody are clear with that. Let me move forward of today's session. Okay, in the last class, we have discussed about the risk. Just to review the last class, we have discussed about the risks, taking from that how we identify the risk and how we analyze the risk, then how we rate the risk, and then finally we also have discussed about how we treat the risk. Now, up till this point, we are very much clear enough that what all we are doing and how it links. Like starting from the first class, which Piyush sir has started with the vision, mission, and then moving towards process, policies, procedures, process. Then we came across key indicators. Then we have done an audit on key indicators. Then we have analyzed the risk. Then we understood how to treat the risks. So it is interlinked. Each process, each policy, if you take, all these things is going to happen. The policy will be connected with your vision or a mission of your institute, and to develop the policy to work properly, you have to write the procedure, process and procedure. And once you write that, you have to identify the key indicators. When you identify the key indicators, you should analyze the key indicators or audit the key indicators. When you audit it, you should understand that what is going wrong and what is good. And you have to take a decision that which you are going to convert as a strength and which risk you are going to reduce it. How you document all these things. Finally, we are, the whole idea of this course is to develop a quality of the organization or develop a quality of the particular policy. Now, every process is interlinked all the way from the first class, and today almost maybe I am nearing to finish your course by giving this documentation today. So it is like what I mean to say is like the links, what is going to come from the starting till the end. Finally, we have come to the particular document where we are trying to inform the management or give the management a report. After doing the audit, after the analysis of the audit, we are trying to provide the report to the management. The one slide what I have displayed here will show you that, say you have kept an timeline of audit of 3 months, and whom all you are going to audit, that is there in one column. And in the heading, you will say that it is a audit report to management. And audit number, you say, you start with the moment you decided to do the audit. From there, you will start giving the number to the audit, and it continues for 5 years. The same number will continue, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe at the end of 5 years, you will be having 60 audits, 80 audits, or number of audits depending upon the frequency of the audit you have taken. And also you will be having the date of audit when you have taken this audit. Sometimes we will give the dates of audit, like started from 1st October and ended at 8th October, because this is a report to management. And in this 8 days, you might check number of processes, and management will not sit with you for each process report. You have to give a consolidated report after some time. So say you have taken a week of time, and you have planned that you are going to cover in this 8 days some 12 headings or 12 processes or 12 things to be checked out. And all consolidated report you should write and give it to the management. Keeping that into mind, here I have taken around 12 things. Generally, there are colleges which will start their audit including the trustee also. like what kind of the internal audits will happen to the trust people also, that what was their objective, what is the 5-year plan they were having, and what is the strategy they are going to draw it out, and is they are very clear in this strategy, then fundings, all that will be taken, and that audit also is possible. It will happen with the quality head will take the audits for trustee, for director, especially to the top management directly, a quality head or the MR, managing representative, will act as an auditor. Whereas for other processes, you can take any other internal auditor also. Here, wantedly, I have put these things to show that audit is not only for one class of people. Audit is not only for one class of process owners. Internal audit is required for everybody, from the top level to the very down level, say the teachers or non-teaching staff also. Garden maintenance person, the what is that, electricity maintenance person also will go for an audit, will become an process owner in your institution. ISO coordinator I have kept. No doubt ISO coordinator is the one who is writing the processes. It doesn't mean that this coordinator will not be having an audit. Definitely one internal auditor has to check ISO coordinator's file, that is ISO coordinator is doing all his or her job perfectly. So this is the things will go from the higher level, then goes to the principal and also the physical director, head of IT, HR department, head of maintenance, head of accounts. Remember here when I say head of accounts, I'm not going to check any financials. I'm going to check the process flow only. Because it is academic audit, we are not going to check why these many crores are here, that this will not do that kind of check. We'll do a check that is the files been maintained properly, is the things have been arranged as per the process written. That check will happen to the head of accounts. Now the audit finding, we are going to give the audit finding in the other column. I have taken few examples here. Your internal audit will give you number of things like the concerns, the threats, and also the positive points, right? You are not going to write all of those things here when you are telling something to the management. The quality head or the head of the audits has to filter some of the things. Some positive aspects, okay, you can spell it out. But some concerns and the threats are the major things you are taking. And even in some concerns, if you feel like, if you leave it and you can able to manage those things, and you feel like after some time this is going to be corrected, and you have the confidence on that, no need to take that concern into the management report. You are going to take the concerns to the management report only when you feel like management has to know about this. It is, in other words, I say, you are not here to complain anything on anybody. You are here to make aware the management that these things are concerns. We have to take some action on this, which is not possible at your end, and you want your management to involve with you to do that job. Sometimes it happens that when you say, the things will not happen. Some of the things has to come through management, only then the people will listen, or only then it will be having a value to convert that into a proper aspect. Such kind of things only will be noted here, not everything. There are some of the things where you can call a meeting to the particular process owners and discuss with them to change those things, and it is possible to change it. Leave those things. You are not going to record it here. You will record such kind of endpoints where really management has to come across and understand that these things has to be implemented, and also you require the interference of the management to implement this. Only those things you are going to find here as an audit findings, not everything. So here, if you look into the principle of pharmacy I have taken. Say I have audited pharmacy department and I have come across some 20-25 things there. I'm not going to put all the things. I have put few things here, that PEOs and outcomes of the departments are not evidenced. That means that they don't have program educational objectives at all. It's a serious thing. Vision is, organization is having some vision and you don't have educational objectives there. Then this is a serious thing where management has to know about this, that there should be the program educational objectives and its outcomes. That is the first thing the college would have been having. And signature of the principal is not evidenced in the documents. Like the processes are going on, people are working, but there is no signature of the principal. That means principal is not aware of that. That means principal is like, okay, सब अपना अपना काम कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, करने दो. मुझे उसको पढ़ना नहीं है, मुझे समझना नहीं है, मुझे क्या है उसमें देखना नहीं है. Not even understanding that what is going on. हो रहा है. All files are updated, but principal doesn't know. Principal has not signed it. Principal has not went through. ये process ऐसा हो सकता है कि principal is not caring for this, or the process owners are so independent that they are not listening a principal, or they are not showing a principal. Both the things are possible here. Now this has to come in line. Everybody who is working has to take the signature of the principal and then report it. Somewhere this process is not matching, or principal should be so strong that before filing it, before updating the file, principal should take the clarity on that. Or before the audit, he might have went through, checked it and signed. No doubt it looks like only signature. No, it can happen, but it gives a different meaning here. The relation between the faculty and the principal is one of the questions which really management should know, otherwise this is going to turn as a risk. Course files for the individual subject should be maintained as per the ISO checklist. This means there is course file, but they are not following the checklist. But what the management has given an instructions that we have a manual and accordingly as per that checklist, the files should be there. But it is not as per the checklist. That means your ISO certification is going as a waste there. So there is no meaning of writing a process. There is no meaning of writing these documents are required in this particular file when they are filing in their own way. So the system is not coming in particular line. So to get the system into a correct format, we have to put this information to the management. Even timetable is there, but it is not evidenced in ISO format. Like organization has taken one particular certified format and everybody has to follow that format for the timetable. and one of the one of the head is not following that, that shows that independency of that. That shows that they're not following with the organizational vision or a mission. So these things like this, retrieval of admin data. Retrieval means like when you ask something related to an admission, they are taking much time to search that particular file and get that evidence to you at the time of an audit. Audit will happen for a half day, audit will happen for 1 or 2 days, but they should be very much clear which file where they have kept, and they should be very clear enough to show. If they are not showing, somewhere the process is in problem. That's why they are searching for the details to show you. So it's really very much required that the management should know that the retrieval of the documents is taking much time. Same way, AICTE norms has to be followed by the library person, and library person doesn't know when you are interacting with the librarian and he is not answering what are the norms and all, and nothing is evidence. That means the library is one of the heart of the organization. When the process of library only is under task, then definitely you have to inform the management about that. Some decisions has to be taken on this. So these are the things which we report. Likewise, I have taken for physical director, some sports related files are not evidenced, and even head of IT, maintenance of calendar not evidenced. Like IT person should maintain a calendar showing that how this IT person will be checking all these systems, like on what date he will go and check the maintenance, to labs when he will go, to this section when he will go, where he has to update the softwares, where he has to clean the data, where he has to take up the things. So those things has to be fall in a calendar called IT calendar. He should have a clear check on that, and he has to keep on working as per that particular calendar. He has to check the lines, he has to give the line naming, all that has to be done. He has to number it, where he is shifting, what he is shifting, why he is shifting. So breakdown register not evidence separately for each department. Like breakdown register is there, all has been dumped in one file. There is no meaning, it has to be separated. Like BA department ka hai to we have to get a clear data that in BA, in this many months or these many years, these many breakdowns has happened. Not like everything will be there in one file. IT asset moment record not maintained. Like movement, generally it happens that sometimes it will be required for examination, sometimes digital library requires. So shifting of the systems, shifting of the things, if at all happening, then a record has to be maintained. Purchase is happening and IT department is distributing that computers, laptops, or small wires, maybe cameras, so many things, maybe the, what is that, mouse, so many IT assets. So where is the moment record? Is that has been maintained, not maintained? It has to be maintained. Management should know about that. A clarity should be there on that. So the kind of things, what on a whole, what I would like to mention here is the internal audit findings will be reported to the management, which is really you require an interference of the management to sort out these things. Small things and all which principal can handle, which quality department can handle, which teachers can handle. No need to mention all those things. That is what I mean to say when you are reporting to the management. When management will know, that means management should understand that what are the concerns. So here, just for this one I have given, on a whole, a single one audit has taken 3 NCs, totally down I have given, taken 3 NCs, then you have to show what kind of NCs it is to the management. Then areas of concerns for the management is 33. If you see your report, you will be having more than 33, maybe 50, maybe 45 or so, under which 10 or 15 you are controlling by yourself. And that 33 you require the management should interfere with you. And you are going to sign, quality head will sign this, and this will be submitted to the management. This is completion of one audit. Audit will be started with your program, checklist, audit report. If there are NCs, NC reports, then analyzing the report, finding the risks, finding the opportunities, then finally you are giving a report to the management. This whole process is called academic audit. Any doubts or any discussions here to take up before I go for the next?
Badrunisa ma'am,
Yes, sir.
tell us something about timetable as per ISO format. What is that?
Sir, some organizations will give the timetable format, like the lunch hour has to be mentioned here only, or the table format. You have to mark the headings, like which classes are there, and down you should also mention that which teacher is handling what in what hour. So that is one format which has been certified by ISO, and everybody has to follow. Instead writing one table, you can make and vertically you will give the days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like that.
Will it be possible for you to share some, sheet, timetable sheet of your organization with us?
You want to see?
Yeah.
When you have put your thing to the ISO certification, you will get a seal and signed by, that format will be sealed and signed by your director and the ISO coordinator. That will become your format, and it has to be in that format. I will share. I have to search that. I will share with you.
Okay. Thank you.
I think what Dr. Prabhakar is suggesting, and I also want to know, of all these units, say principal, physical director, head, obviously in an academic audit, a teacher will also be there, head of the department, teacher. What are those units that needs to be audited? Suppose I don't know, or I have started a new college and I want to set up these processes. So what are those? For example, library and knowledge of AICTE norms. This is, I don't know, what is an AICTE norm? So, so if you can tell us exactly what are these criterias on which an audit has to be done. And then, of course, different institutions can select and modify according to their own situations. But generally, what are the documents which are required? How would we know?
That is what is your major assignment, sir, has given to you. All the policies you are writing now. Library policy also you are writing.
No, right? But how would I know?
You will write the process of the library, and you will write the key indicators of the library, and you also will write that what documents as per your thinking is required for the library.
Yeah, that we will do, but that thinking may be 25% of your thinking. You know the whole of it, so you tell us what it is. We may not be able to reach up to that point of where we should know what are all the documents that a library should have.
Accession number, you know accession number of library.
Yeah, I know what is accession number.
Accession number. right? The accession number is not evidenced means somewhere the numbering of the books is not happening, which is one of the important things for the
This I
library.
understand. I only want a whole list, ma'am. Can you
What
provide us a list?
norms is it's a like UGC. There are
I know.
some technical courses which will be certified by AICTE. Okay, as per AICTE norms, library should have these many books, these many titles, these many volumes, and every year these many has to be added. So this idea the librarian should have. When you go for an audit, you will check last year what were the books and what has been added now. If he says 100 books been added, a question can be arise that is 100 books is fitting in your AICTE norms. If the librarian knows the norms, librarian will say, yes, I have these many intakes, I have this much of the admitted students, and for which these courses, these 100 books are fitting into my these norms.
Fair
And
enough.
that goes.
Nirmalya ji,
Yes, sir.
Badrunisa madam, I am
Yes, sir.
intervening in between. When we
No
go
issues.
for an ISO, even before we go for an ISO, when we decide that we want to go for an ISO, when we are thinking, the ISO person has come to you and we are discussing the consultant. That time he asks for a structure, that he does not give you any structure. He says, what is your structure according to you? So then in that case, you will make a mention, we have these three faculties. Let us say it is the humanities, science and arts. This is one part of your structure. Then we have something related to infrastructure. We have our administration, we have our canteen, we give him the structure. We give him the areas. This is what we have. Once we have this, once we have given this, then he tells us, now tell us how you function. So we start writing down whatever we do. Then we sequence out what we do. And after we have sequenced out what we do, then he asks us that now you have sequenced it, what is the right way to do? Once that has been worked out together and it has come on the paper, then some benchmarks are, then some key indicators are set up. That if this is the area, then it works fine. If this is how it is, then it works fine. So it is we who decide. It's not the ISO person who decide. Who does not tell कि ये ले लो माल हमारा और काम खत्म कर दो. ऐसा नहीं है. Because it is going to be different for everybody. So what ISO Ramanujan College has got is not the ISO that some other XYZ college is going to get. ISO will be the same, but the way of working will be decided by the organization. The organization is going to draft it out. It is not the ISO who is going to draft your format, is going to say, take this and work it out in this particular. Once we have decided on our parameters, then they will say, now you start writing down in this particular way. So it is not that they are giving us anything. It is we are deciding what we want and how we want. Not only that, ISO even makes a mention. You have an option. Which part should be of ISO? There are organizations who say that office will be our ISO office. Baki hum kuch karne nahi wale. In Maharashtra, we have our microbiology XYZ college. Microbiology department is an ISO department. Why? एक डिपार्टमेंट करते हैं हमारा खर्चा बचता है पर उसको हम रेप्लिकेट करेंगे हर जगह पे. So it is this way that you are able to see. It is not that ISO tells us something.
This is, then it's okay, sir. For example,
this way only.
So
and
for
only
example,
after which the final aspect comes in is where to set up the benchmark which decides out ISO.
So sir, if I take up the example given, my college has a timetable and this is the way I work it. Now
Yes.
you see if it is working or not, and it is working. As far as I'm concerned, it is working. You can, as an auditor, tell me if I can improve upon it or not. But you cannot tell me that you come and use ISO format segregation, because I
No,
don't
it
do
is
that.
what you do becomes an ISO format. That is what I think. So that is what Madam is
Yes,
saying.
yes. What we
Now there is
do
one more.
will
I will just
become
add to
an
it.
ISO format.
Just
Sir,
and just add to it. But once you have decided upon the format of the timetable,
Yes.
then next year you are not going to change the format of the timetable.
No,
I'm saying
no.
about the format. I'm not talking about the lectures. They will change. तो
No.
ये फॉर्मेट अभी ऐसा था, मेरे सारे के सारे डेज जो थे ऊपर थे और मेरा टाइमिंग साइड में था. अभी ऐसे नहीं करेंगे, अभी हम इस बाजू डालते हैं, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. जो आपने तय किया अभी वो तय हो गया. That's what she is making a mention.
That's okay.
मैं अगर आपने तय करके रख दिया कि खाने का टाइम यही हम रखने वाले हैं दोपहर के 12:30 से लेके 1 बजे
Yes.
तक, या 1 बजे से लेके
Yes.
1:30 बजे तक,
Yes.
दरअसल 12 से 12:30 से लेके 1 बजे तक वो लंच टाइम ही रहेगा, उस समय कोई लेक्चर नहीं होंगे. This is what she is making a mention.
Sir,
Yes,
I'd
Prabhakar.
like to see the timetable, format timetable.
Yes, she can give you the timetable.
Okay, okay.
I will.
She will give you the timetable. Okay.
I'll just stop sharing this so that I can share that.
Yeah, please.
Can you see this, sir?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Is my screen is visible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. This is the setup. Okay. Only they have to fill their classes. That's what sir was mentioning, that the format will be decided and you have to just fill in the things always. You cannot change this. And here we have mentioned this Saturday timings as well. The here you can see name of the staff, name of the subject, and number of hours per week the teacher is taking. So this also we will mention. And why I call this as my ISO timetable is because you can see the footer which has been signed by the MR and the director of the college. And this will be there. Everybody has to use this form only. They cannot remove this. And here we have written issue 1. Revision is 0. This is format revision. And this is in index form. Section number is this, to retrieve the things. When you take this certified from the ISO, the format, now this format is your ISO format. It's not like everybody should have this kind of an ISO format. You can do as per your requirement, as Piyush sir also was telling, that there is no compulsion that you have to do like this only, but we have done like this. So this will become ISO format. There are colleges, just now what I have displayed the results, that college is having here as a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Instead this, they have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. According to their norms of ISO, they say day 1 is that day like Monday. Say for example, Tuesday has become an holiday, for them that will not be considered. Day 2 will become Wednesday for them. But for us, Tuesday will become day 2. But their calendar will goes in a way that apart from the holidays and all, they consider day 1, day 2, day 3, due to which their lecture classes will be calculated easily. लाइक मंडे का ट्यूसडे अगर हॉलीडे आ रहा है तो ट्यूसडे का जो भी क्लासेस मिस हो रहा है, अगर नेक्स्ट ट्यूसडे अगेन हॉलीडे आ रहा है तो ओनली एक लेक्चर का, एक सब्जेक्ट का क्लासेस मिस होता जाएगा. बट उनके हिसाब से डे 2 कर दिया है, तो अगर ट्यूसडे हॉलीडे है, वेडनेसडे विल बी डे 2 ओनली फॉर देम, तो कोई लेक्चर मिस नहीं होगा. दैट इज देयर वे ऑफ डिफाइनिंग एंड एक्सप्लेनिंग दैट. But we have not explained like that. We have taken Monday, Tuesday only. So this is what is called as ISO format. Is always remember when we say ISO format, that has been certified by ISO with this access index number and the issue number. This certificate you will be having that they have certified these forms to you. Not only this, we have around 204 forms which has been certified from an ISO, and everywhere we use those forms only. Even for lesson plan we have certified form. Even for result analysis we have certified form. Subject allotment we have certified form. So if that is not coming in that format, we say that is system is being not followed, which management has been decided. I think I'm clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
Can you see this now?
Yes, we can.
Presentation? Yeah.
Yes, we can see.
Shall we move ahead now?
Yes, please.
So now the idea of doing all these things from the starting till now, what all we have done is to develop a quality, as I was telling earlier also, that the benchmarking has to be done. Here I have taken some 4 examples. This record is very much required. When you start thinking about a quality, after 1 year of time, you will come to this conclusion. In 1 year, why you require 1 year is, in 1 year, you have to decide your policies, you have to decide your processes, you have to decide your procedures, and then you have to decide the key indicators, then you have to do audit, then you have to analyze your audits, then you should understand the analysis of the risks and opportunities. Then you will get an idea to draw this table called quality objectives to the institutions, benchmarkings, or benchmark the quality objectives. Here I have taken some examples for you, like what is my quality objective number 1? My quality objective here is to impart a quality education to the students admitted to the institution. Now, what is my quality policy? Policy is to impart a quality education to the students as per the universities, like say Bangalore University or Health Science University like RGUHS or Government of Karnataka, whatever it falls to your policy. How do you measure this objective? You measure this objective by taking students' feedback and staff appraisal report of the faculty. who is responsible for these measurements, or who is responsible for to give this objective or fulfill this objective? Is principals, HODs, as well as the faculties. Now, who will confirm the services towards this objective? Weekly report of HODs on syllabus will say that is the syllabus is moving perfectly or no. Then what is the target date for this objective? Every last working day of every semester or a year or results of the semester, you can decide according to your particular college. You require some resources to complete this objective, like classrooms, equipped labs, teaching faculty and non-teaching faculty. Then evaluation of the results you are going to do in percentage of pass in each semester. After this, you are keeping a target. What is your target? If your measurement is in feedback, then your target of feedback should be here rating as 8, because here the scale I have put as 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. On that, if I want to say that I'm reaching the objective, I should see that the almost 80% of the students should give me the staff feedback, I mean teaching feedback to the scale rating of 8. And the appraisals of the teachers should go to 80%. That means they are doing very good. Then we are reaching that quality. Same way, if you take a second objective, to turn the students into professionals with a deep knowledge. Now, what is your policy? Is to groom the talents and turning its student to top quality professionals with a deep knowledge. Measurement is what? Faculty qualification, retention, success rate of the students. Who is responsible? And conformity services is your graduates. Then target date is after declaration of the final results. I have given this example, that's why I have put like that. You can put your particular dates or the months where you are reaching this final results. Now your graduation, you are expecting the target of graduation, you are keeping it as 90%. So likewise, third is to give the placements, and your target you have kept it as 40%. And here I also have entered this certification of ISO as one of the objective to comply with regulatory requirements and improve the organizational quality. Here you're working with NC's areas of concerns and all. Top management and ISO coordinator are the responsible people. Documentation in each process is required. Then what will be your target? Your target will be reduce the areas of concerns by 20%. That means I am trying to reduce the risks of the department. Give me one. So all this is the particular benchmarking table. I have shown you 4. You can keep on increasing this depending upon a number of objectives you have. And you can keep every year some targets, like you can reach 10 targets per year, 20 targets per year. This all how you will come to know? You will come to know with the results of your audits, with the understanding on that which one you have to take primarily. If you remember, there was a question asked that if I have more number of risks, how to deal with? Then you have to decide with how many is primarily you have to take in this year, and when you can take the next 10 in the next year. So keeping that into view, you are going to prepare this chart, which is called benchmarking chart. And this should be known by your management, quality department, and the principals or the process owners that this is our benchmarking. Everybody has to be communicated on this, that this is what is our target, and everyone has to work towards that particular target. Once you finish, as and when your target dates will be finishing, you are going with the reporting of your objectives achieved. Here I have given some examples. Let's say my first objective was this, measurement was this. Now the target was this. What happened in 17-18 is I have reached, my target was to reach the feedback rating to 8, but my feedback rating has reached to 8.5. That means I have reached my target. I have improved somewhere here. But I have continued the same process, or I have continued the same mechanism what we have used here in 17-18, so that in 18-19, because everybody have come across that what they have to do towards this objective, and they are continuously doing, which has been increased in 18-19 to 9.5, though my target was 8. However, in 19-20, it has reached 9. It is slightly decreased to from 18-19, but it is reaching my target point, that is 8. Same way here you can see in the second objective, our graduation target was 90%. And in 17-18, I have reached 90%. Whereas in 18-19, you see, I have reached not only 90%, but also I could able to see 3 university ranks and 60% of distinction students I have seen. So this also is very much required, and this you have to do it for 5 years. That you should, this report will tell you that is your quality is constantly maintained, or it is constantly increasing, or there is a graph going up and down, where 1 year it is increasing, 1 year going down. A graphical representation you can design and see that how your development in quality is happening. The placements records also you can see target was 40%. In 17-18 we reached 40%, and 18-19 we reached 60%, 19-20 we reached 70%. This shows that you are increasing with your quality. And also it happens your analysis will show that somewhere it is decreasing. Then you have to again put your strategy towards that to finally look into it, how exactly you can maintain, sustain that quality. I can use a word sustain. Sustainment of an quality or improving that quality is really, really required. Not only doing, writing the process, not only doing an audit, you have to take action on that audit. You have to put the benchmarkings on that audit, and then you have to try to reach that. When you do this, definitely you will be very much easily put all the things into your NAAC also. NAAC also wants the same thing. Like, what is your strategy? How you are improving? Post accreditation, what is your improvement? Before accreditation, what was your thing? That is what even NAAC looks into. So this up till here is the thing. Now you can just imagine and see that how we started the course, and here we have reached to understand the how exactly we can analyze ourselves that we are improving our quality or no. If you keep all these benchmarkings, definitely you will be in the moment of higher rating. Also, you will come across where you are going down. Then you should understand why you are going down and look into it that you can improve that. Yes, now it is open for discussion. I think, Piyush sir, if you want to add something. Yeah.
Sometime ago you were making a mention about signatures, that everywhere the signature of the principal needs to come.
Yes.
In 2018, I had a chance to visit a institution in Mumbai, which is actually placed somewhere in Kanjivali, Borivali. And what I saw was that they had uploaded the documents for NAC, and there was one remark that had come on the documents. These documents are not signed by the principal, and they were rejected.
Yes.
So the person who was there, who was the principal, he said that what difference it makes. We have the portal is between NAC and us, and it is an authorized portal, so we can upload. And why should this objection come? It was an aided institution, so I just asked them, will it be okay if your salaries go without your signature? If for the salary statement that goes to the government, if it goes without signature, will it be okay? He said, what is salary to do with NAC report? I said, without your salary, without you signing the salary statement, it cannot go to the government, and the government cannot pay. Tomorrow, because you are not there, let us say this attendant is available, he signs, will it do? It will not do. The authority must know what is going on.
Exactly.
The authority must take attention, must pay attention to what is going on.
Exactly.
And whether the authority accepts it or does not accept it, I'm going 2 steps ahead. It is our responsibility to go to it and see to it that you please sign this. He will say it is not needed. He may say so. But the minute a risk comes, he will say, he did not tell me. So you come into a big risk. If you sign, though you are not the authority, let us say you are a vice principal and you sign, your authority is likely to say that without asking me, he signs up as a principal. He may write for, but when I am there, even then he signs. He may have given you the authority, even then he may say so. So you have to see to it that these things are validated. And within the organization, these are very, very common. If you are a good person, I mean to say, if you are a person who can take decisions, you are going to face a lot of problems. And otherwise, also for our safety and for the safety of the organization, it is always better that you take the signature of the principal wherever it is necessary. If the head of the department signature is needed, take the head of the department signature. But if it is to go on a college level, see to every document that is to be uploaded to NAC must go with the college principal signature and with the stamp of the college. And they will be in thousands. Those documents can be almost 500, 600, 700, 800 documents, depending on the quantity of work that you have done. Every document needs to be signed by the principal. Every document needs to be, if there is an IQAC coordinator or a head, or must be signed by him, must be signed by the principal. It must be stamped by the stamp of the college should be there. If it's a quality document, it must be stamped by IQAC also. So these really make a big difference. they have a value. If they are not followed, then in that case, it creates a bad impression about the organization. There was a case which I will like to make a mention about Baramati College, Vidyapati Eastern College, which belongs to Sharad Pawarji. Currently, principal sir is Dr. Shinde. Prior to it, there was another principal sir who did not sign any document after the NAC was over. He had expected that he will be getting a lean or some extension in the work for his goodwill work, which did not happen. And so without signing, he had to leave. When the present principal went for the process of NAC, he had to ask NAC, what do I do? I was not the principal of at that time. NAC made a mention saying that you are the principal. Whether you were the principal at that time or not does not matter. If that principal did not sign, you sign. You are responsible for it.
Take the responsibility.
You are responsible for it because you are submitting these documents. You need to take the responsibility for it. I don't know whether it was counted or not, but it might have been counted out in some way or the other. Because for those 2 years, if the principal signature was not there or that principal signature was not there, and if this principal signature was there, it must have costed them somewhere. So we need to see to it that these systems are made accountable. And if the principal is not ready to take a decision or the IQC coordinator, the authority is not, I'm not talking about the principal in say, the authority is not ready to take the decision, we need to see to it that it is done. It is for our safety, this is first. And it is for the betterment of the organization. This is one very distinct thing that I wish to say. Things change like anything if it is not signed by him. Not only for NAC, anywhere else also. And if it involves money, then definitely. This is one part. Second part is I like this chart very much, which the previous one, which was with benchmarks. At least for the parameters of NAC, we had tried it with respect to our SWOT analysis also, with some benchmarks that we had tried to work out. It was something similar to this one, though it did not have any kind of conformity or something of that sort. How far do we go close to the benchmarks? Unless we set our benchmarks, nothing can happen. So, and we set a benchmark, for example, over here, percentage of passing, but we also need to set a benchmark for attainment. If the attainment is higher, the percentage of passing automatically becomes higher. But we don't work on attainments. And every time I make a mention saying that attainment, what percentage is to the teacher, is to the student, is attainment to the teacher. What the teacher has taught, how is it going to be measured? Even today when I was talking to Nirmalya sir, we had made a mention about it. This is one way called attainment, whereby you can measure the teacher and the teacher himself has to measure himself in terms of attainment. Attainment is something, the marks that the student has got in the course that the teacher teaches, divided by the total, the easiest attainment that I'm trying to take. The total number of marks that the student has got out of 100, let us say 80, whatever the number is, divided by the total number of students, that gives you the exact attainment. That gives you an attainment. So if it is 60%, 40%, 50%, it talks about the average student getting the marks. What is that average number that the student is getting? And that tells whether the teacher is performing or not performing. That tells how much more effort the teacher needs to put in. So here you are able to see some benchmarks can definitely be set in. And if you set those benchmarks, automatically these questions go away. Because in one of the organizations, the teacher made a mention, if student comes, I will teach. It is not my job of teaching. It is not my job of bringing the student to the class. Whose job is it? We are 50% responsible, at least responsible for teaching. But that 50% is going to decide students 50% whether he is to come in to the class or not. I like to make a mention of one of the teachers. Amrapali knows that teacher, who makes a mention when he starts classes in June, in July. He will see to it that he drives out boys first. He will ask a question. The boy will not be able to answer it. The classes are full. He will drive the boys outside. As the boys start leaving out over a period of time, the groups start leaving out. And then the girls also start leaving out. And by the end of August, you are able to see there are only 15 or 20 students remaining in the class, sometimes 8 to 10. And then teacher becomes very easy. He sits down on one of the benches and 8 students sit on the other bench and they go for the purpose of teaching. Here unless we have a mechanism whereby some accountability is set up, things are not going to work. Nobody knows this mechanism. You ask that particular person and he will immediately fight with you. You talk to him with respect to some work and he will fight with you. What is the net result? Then you start fighting with him. When you start fighting with him, you don't involve him into the work. It took me 6 to 8 years to understand what this mechanism is. And when I was the IQC coordinator, and once I understood that this is the process, then I became very shameless. He would come and charge me and he used to start arguing with me. And after the argument used to be over, the next day again shamelessly I used to go to him and say, "Arey sir, how are you? आज हमको तो ये बैठ के काम करना है, कल अपना argument हो गया, that's very nice of you. No, what you are saying is right, but now let us sort this issue." So unless we understand these policies, otherwise achieving quality is virtually impossible for us. So by having some such kind of benchmarks, making them aware, at least in the areas where we are responsible, where the teacher is responsible, for his teaching, for the progress of the students, we cannot achieve. So this is what I wanted. It needs to come on paper, because otherwise we cannot analyze it. If we want any analysis to be done, it must be on the paper. If it does not come on the paper, it does not make any sense. And therefore, these benchmarks, these achievements need to come on the paper. Any other suggestions, doubts, arguments, they are welcome.
Even in this thing that we are seeing, quality objective achieved report, there are things like to impart quality education. Now, what is quality education is something we'll have to define. To turn students in engineering professional with deep knowledge. How much deep? What is deep? We'll have to, with professional ethics.
Such kind of what do you say? Such kind of POs or outcomes should not be written. They should have deep knowledge. That does not make any sense.
Yeah, that's what I also think.
Those words are wrong. They are not the right words. Unless we specify what is the student coming for. He is coming for graduation. what are those concepts that are needed by him? These are the 200 concepts that he needs to understand at the end of graduation. Has he understood at least 160 out of them? That is sufficient.
Yeah.
Where it matters, it matters. Whether he is, it will depend on him how deep he wants to go. So whether we need to focus on, these are the incorrect words: deep knowledge, knowledgeable. He should be able to reflect everything into the society. He may not. What has he come for? Whether we are able to deliver the basics. And that basics is not in terms of he getting 40% of marks. That basics would be in terms of what is expected and what has been delivered. If we can fill up that gap, that is attainment. There the role of teacher comes into being. But
So
if
may
we
I
don't
say,
do that, then this deep knowledge, ये जो है ये सब ये गोलमाल बात है, इसको कोई मतलब ही नहीं.
so may I say something if I have
Yes,
the
please,
permission to say
Lata
it?
ji. We want you to speak.
So when we say to impart quality education to the students admitted in the institution, there are many ways of measuring quality. Like for example, you know, when someone is coming to audit me, audit our organization, I will give them the most convenient thing to audit. For example, feedback is, I know my feedback is good, the organization's feedback is good, or I have cooked, or I have managed it. So I show them the feedback. How about what kind of teaching is done inside the classroom? How about, you know, how do the teachers take to whether they are bothered about the, you know, the students who learn, who take time in understanding, and who some students who have more requirements of, like we call in advanced learners in the case of NAC. So feedback, I mean, I'm just taking an example. I'm not saying that. So in this case, the organization, you know, in this audit, the organization can present a system, you know, a measurement wherein it is most convenient and comfortable for the organization. So all
Are we
aspects.
talking about when we are going for an audit? Are we talking about the
you should
comfort
be
of
very
the
clear in
organization?
Pardon,
When
ma'am?
we are going for an audit, are we talking about the comfort of the organization?
Yes, people do it because just to have a good audit report, they do cook feedback also, sir. You also know, we all have seen such teachers
Lataji,
who
are
get
we
good
talking?
feedback.
We are talking about creation of those mechanisms which are going to help the organization to be better. It is not that उनकी जिंदगी आसान हो जाए. It is that how the organization is going to prosper.
So if that is the case, then feedback should not be the, you know, the way how we measure the quality education. It should be.
I'll give you one example how I used to conduct the
Let
feedback.
me answer it, sir. Before you go, let me answer this on the feedback. When I'm saying feedback rating or feedback, then definitely when you show your feedback is like what you are telling, this is an easy way in the management or anybody will show the feedback of 8 or 9, it's been written. Then you have to see the form of the feedback, what all has been included in the feedback, questions of the feedback, in which everything should be there, like teaching.
Yeah, the format should not direct the student anywhere.
No, ma'am, what I'm trying to say is, you know, even I understand the feedback questions should be formed in such a way that the feedback is good. I understand that. But this is not a reflection on what is the quality of teaching and learning. This is
not the only way of quality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So what should we choose? How do we choose what we choose? That is important. That's what I'm trying to say.
Lataji, do you know feedback is only one way?
That's precisely what I'm saying, sir. You know,
even perceptions, even comments, even suggestions, all these are a matter of quality. feedback or the student satisfaction survey is not the only tools.
Even number
One
of
thing.
grievances, sir.
Number of grievances, precisely, number of grievances. Then areas of work, there are so many, and if we are going to put up if we are going to have an exhaustive audit report, if we are going to have exhaustive audits, or the way Madam has made a mention of the list over here, more and more areas would start coming into it. People will always like to go for an easier way. That's very true.
That's
We need to see to it that, especially those who are into quality selling, we need to see to it that it is not about the convenience of the person. It is about the betterment of the organization.
Pardon, sir.
Yes, please.
Can I say something? I mean,
Please go ahead.
okay. I would like to comment on the Dr. Lada's ma'am, expression. It is it should be, and it is the outlook of the principal and the management that quality education be imparted to their students. The external audit will not see that whether the quality education is being imparted or not, because it is our responsibility of the institution and the management to see that the quality education is given to the students. If feedback is managed, then the whole organization is fooling the society and the government.
Very
yes,
true.
this is precisely what I'm saying, sir. It doesn't work in government institutions, especially. You know, if we so there are many things that we will have to study
That
before.
quality should come
You're
from the
right.
institution.
Lataji, what you're saying is right.
Yes, sir. It
We
doesn't
need
work.
to study more things. It's not only one thing. It's not only feedbacks. It's not only the student satisfaction survey.
I also understand, sir, it is the responsibility of the organization to take the quality, you know, to increase the quality and be quality conscious. But it is, you know, in a private organization, it becomes a much easier task in the sense, you know, everyone follows what has been given to them. Whereas in a government institution, it actually becomes very difficult. Like there is no, you know, there is no retention problem. People, once they are in, they are in. You cannot even remove them. You cannot give them punishments. Even if their feedback is bad, you really can't do anything about it. So
There is one thing. There is one thing that I wish to give you. The procedures are very lengthy. There are punishments. I have seen punishments taking place in the organizations. And one punishment where I saw was one increment was halted. Just one increment. In halting of one increment for 1 year equals to loss of lakhs of rupees.
Yes,
over a
sir,
period
they
of
happen.
time.
They happen in occasional cases. Yes, it does happen. But
then unless the authority has the will to go ahead with these things, एक केस हो जाती है ना ऐसे पूरी सिस्टम ही सीधी हो जाती है. ये भी दिखता है आपको देखोगे तो.
Sir, I want to share something. I mean,
Yes, please,
this is you know, I want to share why I'm generally skeptical of this methodology of evaluation and, you know, of quality. You know, sir, will you agree with me? In my experience of 40 years of teaching, you know, the good teachers, the better teachers, the concerned teachers, the caring teachers very often find it very difficult to finish the syllabus. It is the teachers who are not so bothered, or they just come and finish off the syllabus and go away. They finish the syllabus. So if finishing syllabus becomes a criteria of quality evaluation, I'm sorry, you will not get the right picture of the institution. Because very often good teachers find, because they want to teach, they take their students to different, you know, broader perspectives and things like that. And so the purpose of just finishing the syllabus is often put in the background. I'm just giving you one example of a good teacher and a bad teacher, or a, you know, not so caring teacher. And there are hundreds of such parameters which become very difficult for evaluating. A good, sincere teacher who does research, who knows lots of things, but is ineffective sometimes in classroom. Are you going to say he's bad quality? Should the institution remove him?
What is he for?
So that's what I'm saying.
What is he there for?
No, so does he not put any contribution to the institution?
Just one thing. What is he there for?
For many things, sir. Not only,
What is he there for?
No, I will not say that he's only there for teaching. No.
No. What is he there for primarily? For what is he appointed? What does his appointment letter say?
His appointment letter says he has to teach. Yes, I know. So
now, if he cannot complete it in time, despite he being a very good teacher, the student is still going to appear for the examination in time.
Yeah, true.
So it is his primary responsibility to see to it that he manages out the thing. You cannot say he's a very good teacher, so he cannot complete it in time. He has lot to deliver, he has lot to offer. Whether he has lot to offer, or he has nothing to offer, he needs to complete his syllabus in stipulated time. Something is going wrong.
I don't know, sir. I have had
something is going wrong. If he is not able to deliver it in time,
sir, some of my
best
going wrong. No, sir, some of my best teachers whom I remember, whom I respect, have never completed their syllabuses. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I have gone and completed my syllabus.
Is he able to show the way to the students?
Yeah, yes, of course he is. He is. Of course.
Do the students have any complaint about him that he has not completed the syllabus?
No, there is no complaint.
Has he taught the student to catch the fish?
Yes, of course he has.
But he has done his work.
Yes.
Even the government says that if 80% of syllabus is taught, it's acceptable.
So why?
But you cannot say that he teaches only 10% of syllabus.
The subject. Say 10%, 20%, but difficult hota. When it comes to English literature, 10%, 20% is very difficult. I may not teach the whole poem. I just teach the first 2 lines and then it works.
You should be able to teach the student to catch the fish.
Yeah, that I agree.
If we cannot do that, then we have not achieved.
Yeah, that is
the sole objective of higher education is to prepare the student for the future.
So, my question to you
syllabus is a medium.
Sir, my question
is able to achieve it.
Sir, my question to ये है कि भाई उसने catch the fish किया नहीं किया ये कैसे पता चलेगा?
नहीं अभी आप ये देखो अगर आप ये कहते हो कि बैड टीचर पूरा सिलेबस खत्म कर देता है बैड टीचर है क्या ये भी आगे आ जाता है ना
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल आता है सर
तो ऐसे नहीं होता है ना इसी के लिए ये पैरामीटर्स लिखे जाने चाहिए वही तो हम कह रहे हैं कि वेदर ही इज गुड इफ ही इज गुड ही विल बी एबल टू अचीव इट
सर
यस प्लीज राजेंद्र
सर गुड इवनिंग सर
एकदम आ जाइए
सर मेरा डिस्कशन में थोड़ा करना चाहता था बदन मैम से क्योंकि मेरा कुछ क्वेरी है
यस सर
मैम
Yes, sir. बोलिए.
As I'm talking about my institution, okay? I'm taking that example. We was having stock checking almost every year since the last 50 years or 60 years, whatever it may. From the last 10 years, we changed it to stock audit report. For example, in the case of a physics department, the head of the chemistry department, botany, zoology, 3 persons will check their stock and all these things. Similarly, we are doing the stock checking of almost every department, including the electricity departments, audiovisual departments, NSS, culture, fire safety. Where I feel the non-teaching faculty play a very significant role, very, very significant. And I personally feel because the logbook of the generators, whether it is the lab records, even the lab occupancy, we can design it in such a way that it can reflect at the end the quality parameters what we are talking. Because whenever we are talking about the quality, we are always focusing on the teachers. We are on the non-teaching faculties, those who are also contributing a significant role. I personally, due to that, because we are doing it since the last 10 years, can we say these are the stock audit reports or something like, although we are not doing it on that fashion, that is what you have told it. कुछ हमारा हो सकता है उसमें टेक्निकली हो, लेकिन हम काफी अच्छा करते हैं. हमारी रिपोर्ट काफी हर डिपार्टमेंट की 15 से 20 पेज की होती है राउंड बोर्ड, और उसमें कंप्लीट डिटेल डाटा उसके अंदर हम रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं, और ये बहुत अच्छा भी होता है. इफ यू सी अवर stock of the office, it will be very beautiful organized, you can say. And similarly, the electrical department, they also got the you can say state awards. Electricity departments also got the state awards. Environment department also got, because they maintain proper documentation of, and these documentation are not being maintained by the teachers, rather they are being maintained by the non-teaching staff, and we train them for that. So it serves two purposes. One, the stock checking, which is being required by our accounts department, because wants the stock checking. Every year they want the stock checking. But I personally feel it that they also play very, beside our teaching audits and all these, can we have a audit for these things also, जो आपने suggest किया है सारी चीजें अलग से? That is my personal query actually.
Definitely, that is what I was telling, that audit is not only for this cadre. In the initiation only I told, it starts from the top level to the non-teaching staff also, I said. अगर आप लोग कर रहे हो, बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे ये सुन के कि आपका स्टॉक लेक्चर अप टू डेट होता है, आपका सब अच्छी तरह से रिपोर्ट होता है. I'll be happy if you can share these things to my email ID, just as scan copies of these things.
Surely, ma'am. Surely, ma'am.
And ये audit आप इस तरीके से करो या नहीं करो, that is not important. See, एक तरीका मैंने बताया आपको, अगर आप अपने तरीके से कर रहे हो,
but you I understand it, but your method is more scientific. I have gone through it. It's more scientific. I feel it. We was doing it, I know, but I think your approach is more scientific and it will give a much better, I think, the law. As far as the documentation is required.
डॉक्यूमेंटेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड. अगर आप लोग अपने तरीके से डॉक्यूमेंट कर रहे हो एंड इट इज सर्विंग द पर्पस, देन यू ऑथेंटिकेट दैट ओनली एज योर रिपोर्ट. There is no compulsion that the report should be in this form only. अभी मैंने ये tables डाल के ऐसा बताया. If you have your own idea of putting this in a different fashion, like I have seen some colleges, they always show their report in a graphical manner.
Right.
So it is up to them. ये मैंने समझने के लिए बस ऐसे रख के आपको बताया है. जो अब अगर आप कर रहे हो और आपको पता है कि आप ठीक से कर रहे हो और उसका अच्छे से रिकॉर्ड है, डेफिनेटली नॉन टीचिंग स्टाफ का ये काम है. जैसे आपने बोला, यू आर ट्रेनिंग देम, नॉन टीचिंग स्टाफ, यू आर ट्रेनिंग देम हाउ टू डू दिस स्टॉक. Right.
Almost every staff member is involved in it. Almost every staff member is involved.
Then it is really a good point. एक तो आप नॉन टीचिंग स्टाफ को सिखा रहे हो, क्राइटेरिया 6 में एक आपका रिपोर्ट हो गया और दूसरा हो गया आपका क्या है, स्टॉक लेडजर रेडी हो गया. उसी को अगर आपके प्रिंसिपल एंड योर मैनेजमेंट इज पुटिंग सील एंड साइन फॉर दैट, and it can be carried out. There is no issue in that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I mean, sir can share report to other members also.
Right, sir. Right.
पाड़े सर,
LMS पे डाल देंगे, उसमें क्या है?
पाड़े सर,
Yes.
I just
मैं तो
want
जरूर
to.
देखना चाहूंगी क्योंकि हमेशा there are colleges who will not do the stock check properly. They'll not be having a proper stock
Done by
check.
every college every year.
Yes,
They
every
are done by
college.
every college every year.
हाँ,
Sincerity levels जरा कम होती है
Sincerity, yeah, that is what I was.
पाड़े
Yes,
सर,
sir. Yes, sir.
I would like to say something on Nirmala sir's comment.
Yes, sir.
What is the role of a teacher? Role of a teacher is not to cover the syllabus, to uncover the syllabus.
Uncover the syllabus.
Uncover the syllabus. So to cover the syllabus मतलब उसके ऊपर मिट्टी डालना है, बल मैंने कवर कर लिया मतलब ये कोई सेंस नहीं उसमें. Okay, what you have to unearth the what is there in the syllabus or your subject. So if somebody fails to cover complete syllabus, but he is uncovering the syllabus, then it's okay.
True. Very true. Very true.
No. Nirmala sir.
सर वो तो सर मेरा क्वेश्चन तो ये कि वो अनकवर कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा है, हम पता कैसे चलेगा?
वो तो हेड की और प्रिंसिपल की जिम्मेदारी है सर. हेड और चौकीदार, वो प्रिंसिपल जो है ना, दे शुड बी वेरी गुड चौकीदार. अगर होते नहीं है तो फिर छोड़ देना चाहिए.
वही तो then if the principal doesn't understand this concept, then फिर
वही. अच्छा दूसरी बात क्या है कि हम लोग लास्ट, आई विल गो टू द लास्ट डिस्कशन वो गुरुवार का जो थर्सडे का है, कि हमारे इसमें रिक्रूटिंग जब हम करते हैं ना, तो देयर इज नो एटीट्यूड सीन. मैनेजमेंट डज नॉट सी एनी एटीट्यूड इन ए टीचर. अब तुम सिंपली possessing PhD degree, simply by knowing the number 100 paper published or something like that, you cannot judge the attitude of the teacher. This is the main lacuna of the Indian higher education system, sir.
I agree.
Even UGC and everything, every system is, I mean.
So there is one thing, Nirmala ji, the lacuna cannot go over in a year or in a fixed time span. It has to be a continuous process. जहाँ पे गलती दिख रही है वहाँ पे करेक्ट करना शुरू कर देना है, और कुछ नहीं है.
सर मेरा तो
over a period of time वो लक्ष्य कम होते जाएंगे.
Sir, my thing is that we are 26 senior academics sitting here and working with you. We should be able to think out some of these problems, some of these challenges that come of evaluation. And we have to have some creative, imaginative ways of negotiating these rather difficult,
One of the sessions एक काम करते हैं
and come out with an exhaustive list.
Yeah.
What we can do is एक काम करते हैं. अगला सेशन क्या है? Third, whether our program starts in the next session? No. Today is the 5th. No? On the 9th we start. No? We are going to start our policies on the 9th. That's what we are saying. If I am not wrong.
Sir, 9th is a Friday.
8th, sir.
On 8th, are we starting on the 8th?
8th,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 8th, yes. It is the 8th. Okay. Or we are starting on the 12th, on the 8th, or on the 12th?
8th, sir.
I think we are starting on 12th.
On the 12th.
No, sir. There is.
Sir, I have
given
it
8.
on 8th.
Okay.
Then
Are you all ready for the 8th?
It's I'm trying to.